What is going on, everyone? Welcome to our very first guide video. Today we are covering Soldier 76, and for a very specific reason. I think that he's a pretty beginner-friendly character, but also used by a lot of different players with a lot of different experience. Now, Soldier in particular right now, I don't believe he is very powerful, but this depends on the time that you're watching this video, because if it's a year later or a month later, his stats could have changed. But regardless of his specific stats, if his core kit has stayed the same, then this guide will be relevant. But okay, let's jump in. I'm going to throw up some gameplay for you guys to watch as I go over him. To start off, let's touch on his three abilities real quick. He has a sprint ability, a healing ability, and a damage ability. Let's focus on the sprint real quick because it truly makes up Soldier as a whole. His sprint ability in general just lets him move around faster, which does so much in Overwatch for a specific character, so it's supremely powerful for Soldier to have this. So he can close distance between characters quicker, he's able to run away faster than other characters, so he can get out of sticky situations all the time. And this is a huge part of his playstyle. If you're a Soldier, you really don't want to be in the middle of the action, you want to be at like a medium distance so you can get some really good damage in with your primary weapon. So when you're being bombarded with enemy characters or jumped on, you're able to just run away, get away, reposition yourself so that you can deal more damage. And this works on the flip side as well, so instead of trying to run away, if you're trying to close the gap between an enemy character, you can run in, deal damage up close, and then run away just as fast. Soldier's kit as a whole is really balanced, and a big reason for this isn't just the sprinting ability, it's his healing ability. Not only can he heal himself if he gets jumped on and doesn't have the opportunity to sprint away, he can also heal his teammates in a pinch if the supports aren't able to, which is great because a little extra healing for the team is never a bad thing. And it heals across a really large radius, so you can get a lot of players when you pop down that healing, and if you die after you pop it down, it will still stay up and heal the team. Honestly, Soldier's healing ability is really crazy. He's a damage character that really has a lot of support value. But let's move on to Soldier's third ability that lets him deal more damage. Soldier's third ability is his Helix rockets. He's able to shoot these out to deal high impact damage on a specific character, but if you hit multiple characters that are bundled together, it will deal damage to all of them as well. And this ability is pretty straightforward. It deals a bunch of damage all at once, so you can use it in multiple ways, either at the beginning of your fight or at the end to try and finish off whoever you've been attacking. And I just want to say that we're not going to cover specific math, especially when it comes to damage on a specific character, because these stats change all the time in Overwatch, so I really want to focus on the core kit of a character and how their playstyle is done. Now let's touch on Soldier's primary fire. It deals a decent amount of damage. It's a really good machine gun, but it has a lot of recoil, so you have to be pretty decent at aiming, which is why I say if you're a new player or an experienced player, this will work for you, because if you're new, you need to practice your aim, and if you're really good at aiming, well, then you're going to be really good with Soldier. His primary fire is really useful at medium to close range, so you really want to position yourself high up somewhere so that you can get a good look at the map and the enemies that are around it so that you can deal damage where you need to deal damage and protect your teammates from afar. And I've found that if you're trying to go up against characters that are in the sky like Farah or Mercy, dealing burst damage instead of holding down your controller or mouse button to unload an entire clip is really useful when it comes to accuracy. If you do this, he has less recoil and you can get really good headshots this way as well. Really, the more you practice with his primary fire, you're just going to get better in general. But let's move on to Soldier's ultimate ability, his tactical visor. His ultimate is super straightforward. It makes it so he can't miss his primary fire. It locks onto targets and headshots them, which is really useful in a lot of situations. If the enemy team is low on health, you can use this ultimate to take them all out quickly. You can couple this ultimate with another ultimate to power it up and make it really strong and just burn through the enemy team, but this is the way most ultimates in Overwatch work. So just remember that if you have good team communication during a match, try not to use Soldier's ultimate solo unless it's for a good reason, because when you pair it up with something else, it can be really powerful. I'm sure by this point you have a pretty good understanding of the way Soldier works. We're not going to go in too depth here, but let's talk about good characters that he can be played well with. Mercy's always a good pick. If you have a friend that'll play with you or a really good teammate, then the damage boost that Mercy gives off will really help you get kills as Soldier. When it comes to a tank, Zarya is always a good pick because the bubbles will allow you to get into the fray to deal damage up close and also allow you to get away if you're being shot at or jumped on. But that's just what I found from playing the game as Soldier. I hope this guide really covered the basics for you if you're a new player looking to play him. He's a really well-rounded character, and don't worry worry too much about your aim, you're gonna get better, so practice, practice, practice. But that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, do not forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you on the next one. Flash out.